Ninja Turtles. Turtles in Time, not the third movie or that video game. This is just an episode from the 2012 show. So, this is about the Turtles going into a different direction. This episode's not the usual Turtles versus Krang, Shredder. This time, we meet a new character named Renette. It all starts from the Turtles. I gotta be honest, the quality of this part of the episode definitely looks different from the usual episodes. I don't know if you get that vibe when you watch it, but anyway, the Turtles are kind of just reflecting on trying to find Karai, but they decided to maybe just move on from her. It's honestly surprising that they've been looking for Karai for so long. This has been the entire story arc. Honestly, they did find her, but then she got brainwashed by Shredder. But, I don't know. We're gonna wait for the last few episodes, which does have Karai. Spoilers. But anyway, the Turtles kind of just reflect that they all have crushes, except for Mikey, who's like, I will never have a crush. But it isn't until, out of nowhere, a human time traveler comes out of nowhere. Her name is Renette. And I think she appears in the Mirage comics or something. She also was in the 2003 Turtles show. And apparently it turns out the Turtles are famous in the far future. And the Turtles are not really buying it, but it isn't until she is followed by her arch enemy, Savanti Romano. So Savanti Romano is basically, he kind of looks like a demon, sort of. Except that he is also basically an evil time traveler who likes to mess with time, and basically he's a criminal who commits, wrongdoings in history, which causes time to shift, which is crazy. But he's also appeared in the Mirage comics in the 2003 show, so I did watch the 2003 show. I honestly prefer this Savanti Romano. Not that the 2003 one was bad or anything, it was just I don't know, I just wasn't as invested in that one than this one, because there were so many episodes of the 2003 show. And this show, yeah, it has a lot of episodes, but, I don't know, we only seen Savanti, I think two times in this show. He's in this episode, and he's in, and revealed to be later in, the season 5, where they kind of finish his arc. So, anyway, he's basically after Renette because he wants her time staff, and he is. I do like the line where he's saying how you guys are in the 21st century. Why'd you choose this time? And so the Turtles are ready for a battle, but then a portal opens as Renette falls in, trying to get her time staff, and Mikey, who really likes Renette, decides to jump into the portal. And the Turtles are like, Mikey, don't! And so they all jump in because they feel like they have to. But then we also saw, this giant head that's, glowing. I forget what it's called. He's, basically the boss of Renette for time travel. And he's basically about to banish her from her time abilities. But that's because once they fall into the time portal, they basically land in some sort of medieval times. And she has her staff, but she uses it, her last bit of it, to give, the Turtles, a new look. They're, of course, wearing their Dungeons and Mazes and Mutants outfits. I almost said Dungeons and Dragons, I don't know why. So now they're planning to fight Savanti from changing time, and it turns out he is changing time, because that's what he likes to do. And the way they go up against him is crazy. He ends up putting all our characters in a time loop where they repeat music, and he's like, you will be forever trapped in time. And then the Turtles are starting to realize they're in a time loop, and then Renette uses some gadget to reduce the time loop, to stop it basically. And the rest of the episode is kind of just them trying to find their way back. Yeah, and they get into that fight with Savanti, and they meet various medieval characters. Basically, they meet this one knight that's kind of crazy looking. Yeah, But I think they're basically able to defeat Savanti later. I'm trying to use my memory because I did rewatch this episode yesterday. Yeah, and I think basically what happens is like they defeat him and he's sent back 1,000,000 years into the future or something. And we think that's it for him, but the turtles and Renette are about to go home for little time they have left with their staff, and then I think she's able to break the deal with that giant head from earlier, and then the turtles are able to go home, but instead, something happens. There's this big time rift, and then the turtles fall into portal to a different timeline, and that's where they meet. It leads on a cliffhanger where they meet a bunch of ninjas, and that's where it's revealed for the next episode. I am super excited to talk about. It's basically, I'm not going to spoil it. Like, I'm going to discuss it, because I really have a lot to say about the next episode. So this episode was pretty fine. Like, I don't know, I like the introduction of these newer characters. It explores, like, different sides to the Ninja Turtles than what we usually see. Yeah, time travel is confusing, but it's still fun to concept. Yeah, and this is like honestly the first episode where we don't really see the Turtles' allies. We don't see Splinter, April, Casey, or like the Mighty Mutanimals. Nope, this is just an episode centered on the Turtles and going on a different kind of adventure. That's what I respect about this episode. Sorry if I missed something in this episode. It's like, I don't know why, but I'm having like this brain fart moment. But I think I remember mainly from this episode. So I give this episode like a 7 out of 10. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. Definitely check it out. Like I said, excited for the next episode. So that being said, thanks for watching, and Turtle Power.